So I'm just scared of him more than you.
Boy.
So now that I'm with you, it's, you know, the imminent next event, you know? So that's why I dodged you. But now...
Okay, fair enough.
It's only downhill from here, buddy. Only downhill from here.
That's a good way to look at life in general.
I know,
if I'm being
great.
honest. But yeah, we have Team Spirit versus Team Empire in this best of 3. What are your thoughts on these drafts?
Oh, well, they got a smoke, first of all. We get to see quite a lot in the
right.
patch.
We're going to see some action. A Stormhammer to start things out with the Bramble coming out as well, but a big Boundless Strike onto 3. The Nether Toxin is doing a lot of damage, though. Collapse. It will pop that Fairy Fire, will stay alive just on the outskirts here. Frostblast down to Yatara. Looks like Empire is now on the retreat, and they are very worse for wear as the Earth Spike will be there, and finally the first blood should come to Mira for Team Spirit.
Whew. Yeah, we've been seeing this a lot in the tournament so far, that these teams love to do these 5-on-5 smokes, or at least try and just posture and get that early advantage, and you know, Spirit come out on top this time. Draft-wise, though, I like the creativity of Empire, because they're the only team in the tournament to come in and just first pick a Lich. And in what world do you ever go, oh, that's nice? But no, they first pick a Lich, they then go for a Sven, which I believe Spirit actually, in an interview, phrased that they don't like picking Sven in first phase themselves because it's so easy to counter. And they've done it this game with, you know, the Kite of the Winter Wyvern, the Viper for the slows. Like, they've got a nice ways to deal with it. So it will be interesting if Empire, with the confidence of first pick Lich into then Sven, if they have a game plan around it. But I think I actually kind of like Empire's draft a little bit more, just because it looks a bit more fun.
Okay, that's usually not a good way to rate a draft, but
not,
you know, you're outcasting with me, so I will accept that as a correct answer.
Thank you very much.
As we see a little Earth Spike action here, but I want to talk about mid lane just a little bit. Obviously, Viper not, you know, the most exciting hero, but just a lane dominator, as it were. Queen of Pain in this last patch, Shadow Strike heals her.
Crazy.
Tell me about this skill. Is it good? It sounds really good.
On paper, it's going to sound good, but I think into a Viper, it's just not going to be enough, right?
Yeah.
You know, the poison attack, the fact that you're just going to be able to continue chip her down, and Nether Toxin as well. Yeah, it's a nice quality of life change for her, but it's not going to be like, I can now lane into a Viper style good.
Right. I mean, it just feels like over time, Ice Frog's like, you know what? Queen of Pain hasn't been in the meta for too long. I mean, she was in the meta for like a month or two when they introduced talents. Remember that 25 talent, the spell lifesteal? Ever since then, it's just she dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, and also, like, we're talking about Dagger as if she's got it. She's level 2, doesn't even have it. Maybe skills it at 3, but...
Yeah, I mean, against Corrosive Skin, it does feel kind of bad. So
exactly, yeah.
definitely has to go for a little bit of an awkward build here, but we'll see how her rotations come about.
And the panel, they were mentioning the idea of, you know, Night Stalker, Willow, and how Monkey King will fare. And I think this lane actually goes really well for Empire, just because you have that Winter Wyvern factor. You know, the hero is very weak in lane. You are tied into your Arctic Burn to be your big damage dealer. So I think as long as Empire is able to keep the lane near their tower, they're going to be okay.
And what are your thoughts on Monkey King as a position 1 these days? Because in the last patch, it was terrible, to put it. Well, that was bluntly, I suppose.
Right, yeah,
but now you have some changes. You know, we talked about the shard a little bit off camera, that you can use Mischief as kind of an actual dodge, and then they gave some quality of life improvements from the previous shard, if you want to call it that, with the leap, the cast time and whatnot.
Point, yeah. I think we've seen in the tournament how it's gravitated to a lot more fighting, and I think especially because you're laning into the Night Stalker, like, you want a hero that can maybe go for like a Diffusal Blade, apply more slows to this hero. I think Monkey King, he's a very good laner, and I think that will be able to offset the weaknesses of Wyvern, which might kind of put you in. And I think the main thing is heroes like Luna, like Spectre, they have fallen off a little bit, or actually a lot in
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness indeed.
Yeah.
So like heroes like Monkey King, they're going to have a good time, because laning into like melee style cores where you want them to jump on top of you, put that Wukongs down, and then they can't escape, you're going to look pretty good. So it's, again, Dota's that game where if your hero doesn't get buffed, but other heroes get nerfed, suddenly your hero looks so much better. And that's like, for example, Sand King. Like, he's the biggest winner right now in the patch. And his changes like weren't too drastic to make him like do more damage with ultimate. So it's just
I've actually found a flaw in your logic here. Visage. Just never relevant.
Thank God. I hate that hero. And I'm happy that as the ecosystem of Dota, you know, evolves and changes, that hero is able to stay just bad.
Definitely not the most exciting concept in the world, but...
Ooh, I've got birds.
Totally
I dropped birds.
I mean, if you look at the mid lane now, though, for Toronto, Tokyo, 18-10 versus the 13-2 Depressed Kid. So kind of as expected, Viper taking a bit of a hold here as Vanscore is going to get taken out in the top lane. So another kill for Team Spirit here.
very much in top lane for Empire. We haven't really mentioned it yet, but this is going to be the weakest lane that they can present, because even though Corp's into Viper, a Lich Sven lane into the kill threat of a Mars line, like, it is so strong. Mars hasn't got a good win rate so far in the tournament, but the simplicity of kill in their lane, where it's like stun, death, it's going to be very good for them. So yeah, the fact that Sven's not dying here, that's the key thing. Like, Lich can die 2-3 more times in this lane, and Empire will still be pretty happy, because that's how like weak their lane is on paper.
And you can see some pressure being applied to collapse, but an Earth Spike from Mira is going to put that to an end. I mean, what are your thoughts on Sven as a whole for this patch?
It's very good. You know, like the idea that, you know, Luna suddenly disappears from the meta. Of course, Spectre as well disappears. Like, you need that kind of farming style of core that some teams like to run, and Sven fits the bill. Like, when you look at the patch notes, and most people were really upset when you go to general changes, and it was like 4.5 bullet points, of which 2 of them for like drafting, you're going to be pretty upset, and that's why these big junglers are still going to be pretty happy. Stacks weren't changed, neutral camps weren't changed.
Yeah,
gold distribution wasn't changed.
I feel like if you're a month away from TI, that's to be expected. Like,
oh no, for sure. Like, the
general public definitely had that reception.
Exactly, and I had that too. Like, when I first loaded up, I was really upset, but then I realized, wait, we got like this $40 million tournament a month away. You can't suddenly make the game like last 70 minutes long because you accidentally tweaked the goal too much or something.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love 70-minute games.
You would like,
the tier 5 items really make me happy.
You want TI to run until like 2024? Just never ends, because Spirit and Empire is in game 1.
Yatoro, able to dodge the bramble there and leap up onto the tree, so we'll be good to go. Shashla, this is Night Stalker's not a hero we've talked about.
No, not really.
But is the offlane this game? We'll see how that ends up working out for him.
The main reason for the pick this game was the fact that he can always isolate the Lion and the Winter Wyvern. It'll be interesting what build he goes. So far, we've seen Night Stalkers go for Echo Saber. They sometimes disassemble that into them BKB, keeping a casual Oblivion. But yeah, like, the Echo Saber allows you just to keep fighting. And of course, the changes in 7.3.
Oh, Depressed Kid. Wow, what a bait. Very
beautiful.
Forcing the blink out, and Toronto Tokyo is just waiting there as his disgusting beetle, which is literally the worst cosmetic in the game, by the way. Just need to say that out loud. It really bothers me, actually. It looks like an insect.
So that was like, you know, the pub you played the other day, where the Storm's orchiding the Venge, and not, you know, that's the same concept, you know. They're not both going from the same angle. Right. They go from multiple angles to, you know, bait out the blink. Yeah,
very smart indeed.
That's just for me and you to understand. No one else will know.
That's an inside joke that nobody will understand at all. Top lane.
That's perfect.
Absolutely. Stormhammer comes out. And, into the Sinister Gaze. Collapse taking heavy damage and will be taken out as a result, but looks like Mira will be fine thanks to this TP. Sonic Wave, never mind, from afar. TP was canceled, but you'll be able to clean up 2 as a result.
Yeah, really nice rotation from the Quap, and that is how you need to recover your game. When you're in this Viper who's able to stand on your high ground and keep annoying you, of course, then gets that solo kill, you need to see the Quap make that move, get the value on the ultimate, as we're going to see a replay here.
The impact move, the Sonic Wave. Ooh. You could tell he didn't really want to use it. It's like, all right, I guess I'll have to if we're going to ensure this kill.
Yeah, it feels pretty bad, but, you know, you kill off Mira.
Yeah,
nice little slow-mo there just to watch him die a little bit slower. But yeah, that is kind of what's going to bring Quap back into the game, because if you check the net worth, Quap's now actually top net worth. The CS, you're down by 11, but of course Viper is farming the small camp, and then Quap gets two kills. That's going to be much bigger in the economy for him.
All right, I'm going to make this a new thing in my casts. Whenever somebody gets a pig pull, I'm going to announce it, even though it's only a tier 1 item.
It's one of the best items.
Empire has a pig pull. I just want to let everybody know that. Okay, we have an Earth Spike to start things out. Collapse with the spear into the trees. So they have enough actual damage to finish it off. He's actually going to pop his ult, is the Sven, and try to go onto this with that Stormhammer. A nice impale onto 2, though. And it looks like it's going to stop them in their tracks. Smiling Knight very low, and the Spear's actually going to finish him off. And now the Mars Arena comes through. Van Score stuck inside, and that is a double kill for Collapse. So maybe a bit of miscalculation on Empire's side.
Yeah, for sure, but the Night Stalker instantly popping ultimate.
Attempting to TP, but the root with that Bramble is enough. So they do find at least some sort of consolation on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed during that engagement as well, Team Spirit, Monkey King, he's tipped his line as well. Like, they're very PMA tippers. The meta of tips in the tournament is very much enabling each other, saying good job, good stun, rather than the offensive one. Because in this moment, you tip the Sven. He's in full back. He popped his ult to try and get a kill.
I understand why that would kind of come full circle, but at the same time, they're in the same room, I assume? Are they boot camping?
Team Spirit is boot camping, correct?
Yeah,
yes.
So they could say this out loud, and save their tips for the enemy, right?
Exactly.
That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I just feel like they're really wasting a key component of Dota right now.
But maybe they're just not toxic, which I've never encountered myself.
No, but like when you tip an opponent, you're not being toxic. You're just going, please get something for your bad play. Like I'm giving you some incentive to play better. I want competition.
So that's why you tip so much in these games.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
You're bribing your enemy to play better.
Toronto, Tokyo, level 8 in the mid lane right now, and despite that kill, still actually he's getting out-farmed by the Queen of Pain by a decent amount now, surprisingly.
It's simply to the fact that the Quap was able to get a couple of those kills, and you see from the itemization of Quap instantly just going for that straight BKB.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she had pig pull. We had to reiterate that again.
And she has pig pull.
Can't wait.
Do you think she'll use the pig pole? Okay.
Maybe.
Here's the question: will she pig pole successfully and run away, or will she just just kill herself with the pig pole?
They're professional players, so it always works out well for them. I'll just go with that.
I look forward to the pig pole impact.
We have TP coming in. Depressed Kid comes in as well with that blink, but looks like he's rethinking his priorities here. And yeah, with Smiling Knight not really in the vicinity to be able to get off a good initiation, they're going to have to... Oh, that's a real hex. That's not pig pole.
That's not a pig pole.
He still has the pig pole to use right now if he wants, but looks like he's okay. That 10% movement speed, not needed right now.
Look at the inefficiency right now, Depressed Kid. You are running back to an area. You could have pig poled there.
That's right. That's true.
Just saying. It's 4 seconds of stun, but that 10% move speed, that is an extra, 10% block.
Yeah. Imagine if that was released 2 years ago. There'd be a thread on Reddit about how ridiculous it doesn't fit the theme of Dota. But now we're not at that stage. So Vanscourt takes the Boundless Strike. Arena just in range, and they're going to try to give this to Yataro. Can he get it?
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Greatly timed. Very nicely done.
You see from Empire's gameplay right now, they realize that the early lack of damage they have, they need to bring in multiple cores to an area. Like Nightstalker coming to mid, there's Sven even poking himself into mid, and that is allowing Spirit to build a slow lead. And I think right now, Empire, when Sven gets to BKB +1, maybe a blink, and Quap has a BKB, that's going to be the big timing. So I feel like it's on Team Spirit right now to start connecting and start applying some pressure, close out that jungle. Because if you can delay that timing, Empire will be uncomfortable with getting their damage into the game.
Smiling Knight trying to defend this tier 1 tower with that Frost Shield applied. Looks like he's going for the Echo Saber, not a huge surprise. Do you expect any kind of different item? Is this a Silver Edge carrier? It probably is, right?
Yeah, in some games it can be.
It feels like Blink is just so good on Sven though, in general.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it multiple times for the tournament where the Sven won't buy Blink, and then suddenly you're not able to execute that Winter Wyvern, and you're able to really get into the backline. So, and like Silver, it's kind of a bait, right? Like, oh, it does more damage, but in a competitive game, how can you get the Silver Edge, walk through the fight, get that click off? So, yeah, Blink is far superior unless you already have multiple forms of initiation and you can like waddle your way in.
Yeah. Yep, definitely true. Definitely a more of a, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a competitive item because I think it's still really good, but it's definitely more of a pub item since nobody buys detection.
We've seen it on Slarks. We even saw, I believe, like a Terror Blade.
Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt. Pig pull has now been picked up on Team Spirit. So each side now have a pig pull to use at their discretion.
But they're not going to use it, though. Like, you've seen Depressed Kid. He's not turned himself into a pig yet. And who's wielding the pig pole and Spirit? They're not.
This is a tier 1 item. You keep the whole game. 10% movement, that scales. That's percentage.
Infinite scaling. I would like there to be a little patch, though, that allows Spirit Breaker to turn himself into the pig while charging. It actually hexes you, stopping your charge. I think that is a little bit unfortunate.
Spirit Breaker definitely needs more buffs for pubs. I mean, he would be fun to see in more in competitive,
exactly.
though. I do like me some Spirit
And imagine the pig pole Spirit Breaker charging on in. And then he just erupts into a cow.
Okay, that's not the cosmetic that I have. It's going to see Shashel pop his ult. And Collapse is going to be stuck inside that crippling fear. And with Depressed Kid on the DD, looks like this will be a freebie. And it'll go to Shashlo this time.
Like, this is when you know that a neutral item isn't light. Because Maposhka, he could easily be carrying the pig pole right now. And he's actively choosing not to carry the pig pole.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, on Night Stalker, actually, if you use your spells and then use pig pole,
so you're flying
you can catch up with crippling fear and you go through terrain.
Yeah,
right?
Oh my.
It's pretty strong.
That's actually hype. I want to see that Night Stalker Ultimate flying in.
You know,
you're breaking the game right now.
I just want to let you know that usually my co-casters are the one that rein me in.
No, so. I'm in. I'm done.
He's like, Synderen's like, no, that's a terrible idea.
No, it's
Just stop
great.
this guy.
No, because the way that you sold it, imagine this flying pig. What are you meant to do there? Stun the pig?
I feel exactly the same. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Just don't get me started on Tumblr's toy, though. That's
So
my favorite.
Yeah, the Tumblr's toy is, I mean, it's good, but the fact that you can't use it when you take damage makes it really balanced. So not super worried about that one.
No, yeah, it's actually, like, jokes like that is a really good item in just kind of concept. Diffusal Blade on the Monkey King, like already mentioned, allows him to catch up onto the Quap.
Yeah, but a nice terrorize from the other side of the trees. Yataro getting chased now, has the Curse Crown, tries to dodge anything, but the Sonic Wave is there to clean him up.
Yeah, that's the type of play where if Monkey King had that +1, it's a perfect kill. But you don't have the line there, your Winter Wyvern's TPing in, and Empire is really well positioned. Like you see on the mini right now, they have this like buddy system. You know, the Lich is supporting the Sven bot, he's blocking the smokes if needed, and then you have Night Stalker just freely farming up mid. So just kind of the farming pattern of Empire right now is not allowing Team Spirit to find those cheap kills, and they're forcing Spirit to make the play. If you want to go for a kill, you need to bring multiple people.
Right.
And Spirit just isn't really investing in that.
I'm really interested to see if Shard's going to be picked up on Monkey King this game because as we see, Yataro with that Diffusal, like you said, just going to clean up Vanskar pretty easily. But just with that Sonic Wave, for example, I think 0.5 seconds is enough invulnerability. I'm pretty sure to dodge Sonic Wave if you time it right.
You should be able to.
Sounds pretty hype.
Hey, if we see it, I hope that you notice it in the cast and scream about it.
This does feel like when I read these shards sometimes they're like, okay, in certain situations, it feels like this one at 20 minutes, you kind of buy it. If there's something you can dodge.
Yeah, like if you've already got like that active item plus BKB,
yeah,
then you just go for like that casual shard to be even more obnoxious. Like this for sure is like an item I see maybe OG looking towards. You know, Topson picks up the shard, he's dodging some of these big spells, unlocking the fight for his team. We didn't mention it though, but as Lich died to the Monkey King bot, he actually tried to go for a solo kill onto line. He used his ultimate for it. So we're not going to be seeing Lich enter any fights, but it really does install the idea that they don't want to make any big fights right now. They are waiting. As Sven now is 1,400 gold away from Monkey King, building up his lead, going for the SMY into Echo Saber.
Okay. What are your thoughts on SNY this patch? I mean, the only thing that I think was changed is the Sage just gives left statuses. So when you combine it, it's no different than before, right? So.
I think as they go into Night Stalker, I will think about this question.
Yeah, all right. Mira jumps in. And with the Viper Strike, Balance Strike as well. Many strikes, actually, in this game.
3 strikes and he is out.
Absolutely.
So back to your question, I would like to see just status resistance removed from the game.
You and... Okay, we're done with this discussion. You and Synderen.
I mean, I've
terrible opinion.
Why?
If there was no status resistance, BKB would be even more broken.
Mate, it lasts 6 seconds.
It's too... BKB is too... It's needed... The fact that you have to buy an item every game bothers me.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy it every game.
You do.
You can buy a Glimmer and a Force. And
I'm talking about for carries. You think I play support, Tika?
Oh, you try.
You've seen my support. I don't play it. Right, Collapse pushing out this top lane right now. So, I mean, overall, the net worth pretty even across the board. I mean, who would you favor right now?
I think right now, I'm still favoring Empire, just because they're going to get to a point where when they buy that 20, 30-minute BKB on Sven, he's going to have to run through Spirit as long as they lock down the Winter Wyvern. But this is the pivotal moment in the game for Team Spirit, because they are the aggressors right now. If they're able to stint this aggression, if they're able to get that extra kill, then they're going to be able to take Roshan, and they don't care about God Strength, because we mentioned BKBs, just kite them out.
All right, we hear that Night Stalker ult go off. And
not a pig, though.
If they get this kill, that would be pretty huge. But there's the curse to start things out. Bramble's there as well, trying to dodge a little bit of damage, but Yataro looks super dead. And with that Smiling Knight, very confident to go in, but there's the Yules. Keep him in place a little bit longer. He doesn't really have any initiation items of any sort, so they'll at the very least get Makoshka. So it's a 2 for nothing, but obviously the Monkey King dying a couple times now. That's pretty big for Empire.
Yeah, this is the value of just the Night Stalker in the draft, right? As soon as he pops that Dark Ascension, he's going to be able to instantly locate what tree the monkey is on. He's going to have to chase him down. And there is a lot of chase potential with Empire. You got Dark Willow on the range, you then got Quap blinking in, Night Stalker with the vision. Like Spirit, if they want to play an aggressive area, they need to fortify it with vision. And like if you, as we see the highlight here, right? It's like he pops the ult instantly onto Monkey King, and Empire, Spirit, they don't really have the vision to play here. And they're able just to continue kiting. Maybe you could argue, there isn't even a curse actually. There's just no play for Spirit to make here other than just don't play in the area.
I mean, there's very little commitment from Empire as well. They didn't really, I mean, they ended up using Sven ult, but he just used it to farm afterwards. So we didn't mention Quap does have the Orchid in the inventory. He's had that for a couple minutes now. By the way, I didn't even realize Pigpool is 50 mana. Is that needed? What's the point of having a mana cost on
I mean, you're selling it on every hero and wanting to use it. So if we suddenly remove 50 mana from the pig pole,
I'm sure Valve have great stats as to how often this item is used, effectively or not at all.
That's true. Yeah.
So they could get a big buff of 0 mana cost by TI.
No way.
We can create a movement to make 0 mana cost pig pole.
All right. It's realistically, it's a pretty naff item. So 0 mana.
Yeah.
What cooldown are we saying? 25 or not?
25's fine.
What?
That's not that.
Okay, how about 3 seconds on the hex and 12 seconds on the cooldown? Let's get the piggies per minute through.
Oh, you want it actually to be way better.
Yeah, I want it to be like actually useful. I want commentators to be screaming,
If you
run,
want it
little
to be
piggy,
useful,
run.
it needs to not be a tier 1 item. That's the first step.
Yeah, but okay, how about Faded Brooch was one of the most busted tier 1 items, right?
Yeah, but it was boring.
It was. Yeah. So why not give Faded Brooch...
Smiling Knight. You're going to have to hold that thought, T-Governor. He's getting chased. Oh my god, he's going to be fine.
Imagine if you had the pig pole.
That's true.
Even safer.
But no, true.
Let's make pig pole the new iteration of Faded Brooch. Let's give it a bit more of that mana situation. Let's force heroes to... Oh, wait! You don't allow them to actively choose when they become the pig. They just RNG.
It's passive?
Passive, yeah.
Oh.
So you get a lot of benefits. Like you get the mana, you get the move speed, but like randomly, every 2 minutes,
I would agree
you
with
turn
that.
into a pig.
Only when it's equipped on Ogre Magi, though.
So you multicast your own
the
team.
lore. You multicast your team into pigs, and you ruin the game, and you get reported.
Dude,
that'll stop
great.
people from playing Ogre. Or actually, maybe the opposite.
We need that, actually.
Top
we need
lane,
a passive thing.
Yataro. Oh, he's going to be showing in this top lane, and that is likely going to be... What?
Everyone's here, though.
Yeah, Mars is here.
Nice.
Okay, I thought they would be able to actually initiate there, but looks like all for naught.
But that's the development of the game, right? Where Yataro realizes every time he farms up there, they're going to go on him. So this time, Team Spirit, they bring in the heroes, and Empire, they have the discipline. When that Cold Embrace instantly comes into play, they're like, wait a second, there has to be maybe clamps, he's not showing on the lane. They disengage. Other teams there, they'd have tried to continue poking, seeing what they could get, but yeah, a lot of discipline coming up from both teams as they kind of develop through the series, realizing kind of how they're playing the map and what type of fight they're taking.
Yeah, what kind of power spikes? I mean, I can answer this myself, but anyway, the BKBs.
There we go.
That's the next power spike, I assume. Mr. Smiling Knight is going for one, I believe. Yeah, Shoshlo as well, and we can see the Monkey King for Yataro. So, and they're all actually pretty close to getting it at the same time.
Yeah, so Monkey King going for one, Viper's going for one, Corpse going for one, Night Stalker Sven, like there's 5 BKBs.
And you want to get rid of status resistance. Imagine how much worse it is.
But, okay, but, sorry, does Sven have status resistance? And the BKB?
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
does he need the status resistance?
He needs both. He's a big boy.
He's probably thinking to himself right now, why did I waste my money on this status resistance when I could have just had a BKB blink right now?
He's got a big appetite. That's Sven's problem.
He is a big boy.
That is in the lore. As we see Faye Grenade being picked up by Miposhka. It's a pretty interesting item, I guess you could call it.
It has
what are your thoughts on it? The fact that it does more than just apply the damage is a little weird to me.
It does give vision in regards to, do you know when like a spectral dagger hits a unit, it's kind of that cloudy vision where you don't fully see the hero?
Right.
That's the type of vision it gives when it goes behind fog. And I think there are some really cute plays to make with it, but I'm yet to see it really be like have that impact in a game where it's like, oh my, the faded grenade or whatever it was called again. Yeah, the fade grenade, that was the real kind of turning point for the fight. But
I mean, you haven't seen Earthshaker then.
I know, for sure. I was hoping you were going to mention it. I was giving you the platform to bring up the Shaker. Yeah, I have seen it at a pub where you get the Shaker where he just yeets this grenade and just one-shots a CM or something. Yeah. That's pretty entertaining, but competitively...
And it doesn't use Enchant either. Oh, we're going to see the Hex here. Looks like this will be a freebie at the very least for Team Spirit. Oh, okay. Smiling Knight. Looks like that's going to be a very easy kill. I was trying to see. It was pig pull. Damn it. I was like, he couldn't have hexed. It's a pig pull. I hope we see this replay.
Nice.
All right, this is the impact move. Pig pull in 2 seconds. Look at this 10% movement speed buff. Look at this.
Crazy.
He almost gets to the other side of the creep.
It's not a pig pole. With Lion, it's a fish pole. Please.
That is true.
Here we go.
Actually.
That's a little fishy.
That's a little lore breaking.
And if he was a pig, I think he lives. And I think that's why pigs are superior to fish right now.
Interesting that his own cosmetic, Hex, applies to himself. That's really weird. I would never have guessed that, actually.
Yeah, well, Dota's a really reliable.
All right, well, we've seen the first pig pull today, and it's an 0 for 1.
0 for 1, yeah. Like, we actually not seen any other use of the little old piggy. So that's unfortunate. Oh. But luckily, that replay did show that Lion didn't have a blink, didn't have any of his own spells up, so turning into a pig was the only option for him. It wasn't like he was griefing himself.
It's funny that we talked about it the whole game so far. Like,
it feels good.
And the first thing that went into my head when it happened is that he hexed himself. That was like my because it's just not used to it yet. You know, they're gonna find the Dark Willow again, likely. Yeah, with the spear into the trees. Yeah. I mean, you have to think they're gonna get this eventually. Mira's on the sideline as well. Has the Finger of Death ready to go. Rebuke, not quite enough as Shashla is going to play all his pressure to the Lion instead, but there's the Cold Embrace to keep him alive. Now Collapse getting stunned up. But with the Dark Willow kill, it looks like Team Spirit's going to be relatively happy with that, and Empire not wanting to fight 4v5.
Yeah, the key thing there, going back in.
As I say that, absolutely. Oh my goodness, a spear into the tree melee style. Still at half HP. He's broken, and there's the Finger of Death to finish him off. So another kill goes the way of Team Spirit. And Vanscore might be next on the list. Absolutely. So Team Empire kind of crumbling in this last 30-second engagement here.
And that's the disparity in BKB time that's coming into play, right? You see the Monkey King with it, the Viper with it. Sven didn't have ultimate at the start of that fight. And also Night Stalker, he was like 100 gold away from his BKB. So like Empire were like posturing, but they just weren't ready. If they delayed, if they just disengaged from the area, then we would have seen like the real clash of both teams at their biggest power spike we've seen in the game so far. But Empire showing that they weren't as disciplined as before. They kind of get caught off guard by Collapse with the Yules and turning it around. But this shouldn't scare Empire from looking to take a fight. They should go back into it. But yeah, as we see here, Collapse has the Yules, pins him to that single tree in the middle of the fight. And at this point...
Yeah. And look how close Shashla was to BKB here. 100 gold.
Exactly. And like even if they kill the Lion or the Quap ult, it's not going to feel great. So yeah, Empire will be kicking themselves a little bit that they took that fight. But again, not too disheartened. They know the time is coming around the corner. They just need that one clean smoke and catch the Wyvern, catch the Lion, and take the fight from there. But yeah, Roshan, I guess that's where we're leading to. Roshan will be the big fight. Both teams are extremely ready to take this. Maybe Empire will be a little bit upset with no Quap ult, but they have to contest this. This is critical.
Absolutely. It's going relatively fast. They might not even be able to get here on time. Depressed Kid, like you said, doesn't have Sonic Wave, but the BKB online, so they got 3 on their team right now. But yeah, Team Spirit not wanting to take any chances. Abandon Roche for the time being at half health, and will smoke up instead. And oh my, this is a Dark Willow Death again. Balance Strike onto 1 only here, but the Mars Arena onto Shashla. This will be a big kill with the Finger of Death. No BKB able to be used there. As now Vanscore chased down again, and this should be the Roche.
Yeah, for sure. Empire, they got a little bit comfortable.
Might not be done. Mira, yeah, he jumps in, gets the Hex. If they can get this kill, that's a BKB. That's the top charge right there. And they're just going to let him go. That's a great exchange for Team Spirit.
Yeah, Team Spirit just playing the map a little bit better, right? Like they play Roshan, bring it to half HP. They kind of respect the idea of Scan being available, disengage, smoke up, and then Mira on the line, really utilizing that blink, getting the Hex on Night Stalker. Like they have the BKBs. Empire are ready to fight. But if you're not in position as a team and you get picked off like that, it's disastrous and they just sweep through the entire map. Like, and I love the fact Spirit isn't instantly running into Roshan. Like they respect the idea that there's a Willow, there's a Quap, there's these big AoE heroes. So they can continue to force Empire to play around the pit and then hope that they have the better fight there. But it can also kind of bite them a little bit because Night Stalker with ultimate, for sure, is very disruptive.
Yeah, Empire's lineup is pretty scary if you don't have vision of them while you're going for the old Roshan. But we can see on the minimap that they are not remotely close, so this will be an easy Roche for Team Spirit. That
Radiant Ward in the dire triangle, that's what's unlocking this Roshan for Spirit. They see pretty much 3 heroes just kind of actively walk through the pit, the jungle, sorry, and then Quap pushes up bottom. And that's why you see Spirit not trying to fake Roshan, not trying to kind of delay and kite out. They're just going straight for it, and now they have the Aegis.
And they 5-man smoke, knowing that the Aegis is now online for Yotaro. Be interested to see if they actually try to engage here.
They're trying to hope that Spirit make the same play that they did, where they get comfortable with the Aegis. You see Miposhka's positioning, like this is not respecting a potential smoke.
Yeah, absolutely. Collapse is going to run right into them. Shashla does get off the BKB this time, and yeah, they're going to focus on the Wyvern and the Wyvern alone, and they'll find him. Mira looks to be taken out with that last right click as well. So with that Team Spirit, if you can get out with Toronto, Tokyo still has the BKB, will have to pop it, and Empire's going to be happy with that.
Now 1-for-1, where the teams are able to kind of bait out these key BKBs.
Yep.
And we mentioned earlier the idea of Silver Edge and Blink Dagger and stuff, and we thought that Sven would go for a Blink Dagger, but no, he's
Silver Edge.
He's going for the Silver Edge.
I mean, I do feel like their biggest issue right now is catch to, like, it's basically their initiation. If you had a Blink Dagger on Night Stalker, it would make a lot more sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're running, like a lot of their kills have been, they just have better vision or,
Exactly.
I mean, which is what Night Stalker provides you, I guess, but still
like-
kind of missing that Blink.
Yeah, so right now, how we saw that fight go down, it's like Night Stalker gets on top of the Wyvern, and that unlocks Sven to have a free fight, right? Like, the reason why they picked Wyvern was the Winter's Curse or the Cold Embrace, like, constantly forcing Sven to feel uncomfortable. And I guess maybe they're just hoping that Night Stalker always finds the Wyvern, and they don't need to blow up the hero, because then it's like you can just kind of keep him to the side silenced, and Sven can then waddle in with all his damage and not rely on, like, the double jump and kill. So I can see maybe why they're doing it, but again, I'm just a big fan of the Blink.
All right. Spider senses are tingling here as Smiling Knight will run all the way back into his base. Very afraid right now. But yeah, it does have the Shadow Blade, like you said, so just needs a Chrysalis plus Recipe to get the Silver Edge. It's funny, it feels like they redesign Silver Edge every couple years. Had Echo Saber before. What are all the iterations, actually?
There's an Oblivion stuff one as well.
Collapse. We're able to find this. The Winter's Curse is there. Trying to set up the proper spear as well. It's done for quite a while. Yataro, Boundless Strike with the BKB from Depressed Kid into the TP. And will be successful. Very little HP, but we'll get out.
Pretty awkward. And the first aggressive tip of the entire series of
All
this
right.
elimination game, which is Depressed Kid going to Mirror.
There we go.
Yeah,
Beautifully done.
beautifully done.
So how many BKBs we got?
We got a lot there, man. We got Monkey King's got a BKB, Viper's got a BKB.
Oh.
Collapse isn't going for one. He's been a little bit of a cheeky devil, going for the Yules, the Lotus, you know. He's
So
going
5 is what you're trying to tell me.
yeah, I was trying to sugarcoat it. We got 5 BKBs
Okay.
in this game, yeah.
Very nice.
So how many would you like to see in a game? Like none?
2.
Oh, okay. Okay, still like the item to some degree.
Yeah, it just needs to not be, I have to purchase this every single game.
Stop picking magical damage.
It's not just
Play against
damage,
Lycan.
but
Then hope to have a repair kit. Oh wait, wrong patch.
yeah, true. Repair kit, we loved you, JK. All right, fortification is popped. The tier 2 pressure will stop right there. They're still kind of amalgamating towards that area, so we'll see if they continue on or not. And they might just get this tier 2 for free from both sides.
Yeah, that's a natural mirroring play. I think both teams are really respecting that the vision needed to take these fights is instrumental. And I think Spirit, they also have to respect this Night Stalker. Like, they're going to be hugging the side of the tree line. They're going to be using their wards. And if they take a fight in the open, they probably will lose it because their damage it's there. But, like, with the Frost Shield from Lich, with the Kite of the Willow and the Quap and the BKB, like, it is hard for them to 100 to 0. And, like, sure, you have Wukongs and you have Arena, but that is, like, the perfect setup where Mirror on the line is able to get that fight. And once again, it boils down to the vision. So I think Spirit, they're entering the point of the game where even though they have the toolkit to get the kills, they're scared that if they don't smoke to find the kill, it is going to be a very awkward engagement where Empire's going to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, and Empire just doesn't want to fight into this Aegis at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yataro, I mean, only 30 seconds left on the Aegis. Is that right? Time really flies when I'm casting with you, T-Gov. Unlike with Cinder, where it's just never ends.
I feel I agree with you on some of the points. We're not arguing.
That's true.
It doesn't feel like a slog.
Somebody's actually agreeing with me. My goodness. As we see the 30-minute item timing here, new record, really. Minute faster for the Lotus Orb here on Collapse. I was a little surprised. I mean, we did talk about this, the fact that Yataro has not gone for the Shard. I feel like he has he's tried to use Mischief a few times, but has not done so. It feels like he's used to the 0.5 seconds almost.
I guess the other way of looking at it is, when I was thinking of the Shard, I was thinking of like the mid Monkey King, where you are a bit more utility style in their face. And
Okay,
he is
yeah.
the core.
Yeah.
And I think if he delays his Skadi by 1400 gold, it could be uncomfortable. Like, this is the moment of the game, right? Like, this is the point where whoever wins this next fight will be able to position around Roshan, will be able to set themselves up for that second Aegis, and it's looking good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with that, but the fact that they didn't really use Aegis in any way, like, normally if you don't, at least you get some towers or something. They just traded, and if anything, they've actually lost net worth if you look at the top.
Yeah, and that's because of Empire's, smoke, where they 5-manned after the Aegis, instantly killing off the Wyvern and Lion, and it just reminded Spirits, like, guys, if you want to fight us, and you're not jumping us, we will kill you. And that kind of forced Spirit to go, wait a second, even though we are winning the game with objectives, we are yet to take that pure 5-on-5, where Mira hasn't had that excellent jump and that excellent start, and you can't rely on that in a Dota game. And that's why Empire, they time the Roshan, they're getting confident, they realize that Spirit, they're playing forward, but they're not playing with like we're winning the game now. And that's where Empire, they can take their lead in the game and really just try and fight. And both teams, when they don't see heroes on the map, all the way back to the tier 3s, they're playing super, super scared.
Yeah, indeed. So that was a 5-man smoke, but they didn't really find anything. Got maybe some vision there, but we see the Silver Edge now online, and I am really curious to see if he's able to actually use this successfully, because it just feels like one of those games where... Actually, let me look at the Choshlo. What does he have right now? Oh, he does have the Blink Dagger. Okay, so now they have some sort of more reliable catch. I mean, I feel like, you know, Queen of Pain is not a hero you want technically being your initiator, not really too tanky, even though she does have a blink, but...
But that's why the Night Stalker with the Blink Dagger, that's what kind of gives comfort to this itemization, where I think if we were talking about a Night Stalker who maybe built like an AC or some other random like tanky item or an Ag or something, it's like not good for the game.
Right.
Sure, then we can critique this Fen not having the Blink, but because they're kind of enabling each other, one goes Blink, one goes damage, I honestly don't mind it at this point, as it has had great success with Night Stalker finding the Wyvern so far.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Depressed Kid showing himself. That's going to set up the Yules from Collapse into the Spear, but no, the BKB is popped. Depressed Kid now feels like he needs to go on him, and already at half HP is Collapse. He's mitigating a ton of damage right now. And actually, the Chain Frost comes out as well, but really to no avail. So Collapse has successfully mitigated a lot of this damage, but there's the Wukong's command on the several here. Shoshlo is just melting inside, and Collapse finishes them off with a nice rebuke. And now the Boundless Strike will connect. And this looks like another dead Dark Willow. And there's another charge for Mira, number 4 to his name.
A very weird engagement from Empire, simply because they weren't able to instantly kill the Wyvern. They also fed away a gem. Night Stalker had that, and I think Empire, like, the perfect fight for them is playing around the vision, keeping it long and drawn out. Like, he used Wukong's reset from the fight, and Spirit, they were able to keep that Wyvern alive. And yeah, Empire just struggling with kind of cohesion, it feels like.
Yeah, it felt like he had to pop that BKB, so he was almost committed.
Exactly, yeah.
But nope, it didn't feel like they were on the same page. But only down 2K, so this game is in reach for both teams.
It's still very, very close, and I think, yeah, it was enjoyable to see how Viper plays really well into Night Stalker, because as the Night Stalker was running in, you know, he just pops the ultimate on him, and it's going to look pretty good. As we see the replay here, so right, Collapse starts the fight, and this already, it looks a little bit shaky for Spirit, because you've used your spear, you're like, okay, now I'm in an uncomfortable position. But this is the point where it looks good, right? Mira blinks in, stopping Sven from kind of playing the game. And then Shash, though, he's way out of position, and because of that Vibe Strike, he can't, you know, disengage from the fight.
Yeah.
And the Wukong stops the rest of Empire. Joining the fight, they're kind of heavily out of position. So very weird from both sides, but for sure, Empire, a little bit of miscommunication if they're actually fighting or not. And because of that one little slip up where Night Stalker goes in and the team can't, it's, yeah, impossible for them to take the fight.
And Collapse just tanked everything.
He did, yeah.
Kind of crazy. But I wanted to talk about this talent, which didn't really matter before for Quap, but the 525 AoE Shadow Strike now, like you said, it heals. So I don't know if that's, again, it sounds cool in theory.
Yeah,
we'll see if it actually is good, because you're giving up the 120 Scream of Pain damage, which I believe is a new talent. So I've actually yet to see that in a game.
And I believe it does half to creeps as well. So it's not as if it's like you hit a wave and a hero, you're suddenly just regenning out of it.
Shoshlo is going to show himself. He's going to kill that courier in spite. He's going to find Maposhka, pops the BKB along with the crippling fear, but 4 staff for Maposhka. Looks like he'll be safe for now, but here Depressed Kid comes. There's the Shadow Strike AoE. They're able to take out 2 extremely quickly. They're going to buy back into the game, though. Now they're going to try to turn this around. And Depressed Kid, he's going to tick down very low. And another Finger of Death with 1 HP target. He'll take another charge, T-Gov. And it's a 2 for 2, but costing 2 buybacks. We'll see if Team Spirit can go high ground.
Yeah, the key thing here, Sven still has ultimate. So if you trade off the buybacks from Quap and Lich, maybe you can still take this fight.
Yep, there's the buyback onto Lich now. Quap still with buyback as well. But looks like Team Spirit might be backing up now as a result of that.
Good from Empire not to automatically use the Quap buyback as well. But that is the advantage where Spirit is able to, in this aggressive area, because of course it's later into the game, they control the outpost. So killing off the supports is great, but Empire's now struggling. Like, and that boils down to the idea of Silver Edge v Blink again, right? Like, I enjoyed the Silver Edge when the Night Stalker was playing cleanly onto the Wyvern, but now we're not seeing the Night Stalker have the same impact. The Sven hasn't really been able to do any damage in any of these fights. Like, he's using the Silver Edge, he's waddling around, but then he's just kind of looking at the Viper like,
he's farming well, but in fights he hasn't really done
exactly.
much. So this is the Shard Roche. No more cheese.
Ooh,
Will Yataro take it? We've talked it up all game.
I'd
He
love
will
to-
not. It will be for Viper. Well, he's going to hold it
He's
for
holding
now.
it for now, yeah.
Vipers is really good. Provides you, yeah, he's going to use it, so gives you the minus armor and more stacks with poison attack, and also works on buildings. So that's kind of your high ground push right there in and of itself. Actually went for Ags. What do you think of Ags on this hero?
This is filthy. You know, Toronto
It's
Circuit.
probably the most boring Ags in the game.
Yeah, it is. It's up there for sure. But
No,
boring
it's not up
is
there.
also
It is the most.
okay. What's your second most boring?
Venomancer, which was slightly changed
Okay, no,
in this
to be fair,
last
that is-
patch. Those
Is
are the,
it- okay,
those
is it
are the
not
two
fun though when you
legacy
get to
Ags from the
25?
previous years.
So you just don't like things that just slowly kill you.
No, it's all it does is upgrade your ult. There's nothing special about it. Like the rest of the Ags in the game are very unique in some way, usually.
So like, how about Viper's Ags is like a Kunkka where it creates torrents.
Yeah.
Viper just spits out toxins like everywhere, just randomly.
Oh, you're trying to think of a new Ag.
Yeah. Just want to shake it.
I
up
mean,
a
you
little
should
bit.
send your ideas to Ice Frog because obviously they can't think of anything new for Viper or Veno.
Just more damage. But anyway, I think I like the idea. Of course, this Viper, his role in this game is just to kite out the Sven because Sven doesn't have blink. If he gets the ultimate onto the Night Stalker or the Sven, like it just fully removes them from the fight. And movement in this game for Empire is key. They're trying to poke, prod, and kite. So yeah, this Viper really filling the role right now with his itemization and his positioning.
Yeah, that extra cast range is really nice though. And by the way, I'm not saying
Whoa.
Ags is bad on the here. I'm just saying it's a boring comp.
No, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, just want to make sure you understand, T-Gov.
I understand
Like
thoroughly.
for Cinder, and I have to explain stuff several times for him to understand. So
No, I'm a one and done guy. Or I'm just saying yes to move on the conversation. You just don't know.
yeah, that's true.
But no,
take
I
that.
agree. I like the axe. It's good.
Aesthetics cap now.
Yes.
Team Empire. What do you think of this item?
It's pretty cool for the idea of if you get jumped, you suddenly get a little bit tankier. But
Yeah.
it's that cursed thing, status resistance.
Yeah, I love me some status resist.
Yes. So
50% is a lot,
yeah,
by the way.
you want to put this on the guy who's going to be the front line. He just tanks it up. Suddenly, he's able to eat through some of these spells. But yeah.
Now we're going to see the Hex initiation from Amira. Boundless Strike to follow now. Nice ult from collapse onto 2. Looks like he dodged something there. Dark Lord's going to survive a little bit longer as a result, but you can see Shoshlo on the high ground gets taken out, but Monkey King is stuck there for just a little bit. So it's a 1-for-0 to start things out. The Viper Strike from afar. Smiling Knight has to fight now for the most part. Will absolutely blow up Mira. So finally we see some Sven damage, but will he be able to do much more? He's going to have to man fight Yataro, and that just ain't happening.
Yeah, Sven doesn't
So
have
1
buyback
for
as well.
3 with the buyback now onto Shoshlo, and Yataro is going to get off that ultimate finally. Never used it, and with that Diffusal Blade, Shoshlo's going to take more damage, but looks like he'll limp away to the fountain.
The real question here for Team Spirit is are they going to also try and look to start hitting some buildings? Sven doesn't have ultimate, doesn't have buyback. This is going to look pretty good for them.
I mean, with Viper Shard, that's one of the best pushing things in the entire game, I feel like.
Yeah, just starts
Absolutely
chunking
crazy.
down the tower. It's pretty good. Again, Empire just going to be so upset right now. Like the key fights, they're just 10, 15 minutes too late for their lineup. They're getting heavily kited now. The value of this Viper is coming into play, and they're really struggling to connect on the damage. Like this was the first time we saw Sven hit a hero in a fight cleanly, right? And he two-shot a Lion. And at 40 minutes, that can't be what your carry does, as he just slowly gets kited out from all the slows and spells and Mars and Wyvern. It's a rough game.
Tokyo, not a whole lot of mana to speak of, so he's just conserving it here.
Yeah, no,
knowing
that's
that you're going to
respect-
find both racks.
He doesn't need to use it right now. He needs to use that, your favorite axe in the game, the onto the Sven.
That's right, absolutely. All right, that's 2 sets of racks for Team
Now
Spirit.
we're going,
Yeah. I mean, this one's a little riskier because 20 seconds for Sven. We're going to see a spear. This is going to be a huge kill if they're able to find it. And it looks like they will. Actually blinks on his dead body, just drops by the Ancient, buys back into the game. This is going to be at the very least a melee rack to see if they can get the megas overall. Lich Ult finally comes through, and there's the Wukong's command, which will just create enough space to get the mega creeps. And with that, Team Spirit will try to get out. It looks like Collapse might be the only one to get sacrificed here, but they'll take this any day of the week. Actually uses his arena, but to no avail.
Look at him, he's like, oh, we got mega creeps. Yay.
Yeah, mega creep. I mean, honestly, that's the power of Viper Strike, or Viper Shard. It is insane.
Or Sven dying without buyback.
That too, yes.
Or Sven not having
to be
ultimate.
fair, like 3 or 4 of them have bought back in the last like 6 minutes, right? So,
Yeah. The game.
and even if you did have buyback, no ult for that time being. For a
And
good
that's
portion
why
of it.
Sven is also not really like the first phase hero that Spirit were mentioning in their interviews. Like, if you
Right.
have the kite, if you have what's necessary.
Oh. Okay, double damage and
Aegis
Godsmack.
surprise
Is
in
that
3
enough?
seconds.
Amira is now using his Hex, Yatara with the Boundless Strike, and now he's getting all his HP back. It's a man fight for the ages, or a monkey, if you will. I guess it depends on if you believe in evolution, but here comes the, the curse onto Sven, and with that Viper Strike from afar, Smiling Light drops again.
And they call GG. Yeah.
100 seconds on the deck, no buyback, GG's.
Yeah,
All right, that was quite the game.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it.
Both teams, they had their chances. You know, I enjoyed what Empire had. You had that beautiful style of vision from the Night Stalker, the Sven. But once again,